check, mic check. It's right. All right. Got the family. Let me get that out of the way. Welcome to the Black Bear Broadcast. Let me just shut down some of these softwares. My machine is making quite a lot of noise. Let me save that. Let's find today's fantastic document. Where is that? Oh, okay. Hope you guys are good. Don't forget to tell a friend we're live. This show really works. It's a community show when people, jump in, give their opinions, but feel free to just listen. You know it is. Let me close down I've got a lot of software. I've got a lot of, so let me save that as well. So as you know, I'm literally rushing from one thing to another, such as live. Okay, let's see what we can find. Here we go. So I think I found it. Yeah, this is it. Share screen. Hope you guys have a fantastic week. Got a good show lined up for you today. And go share, care, everywhere. There it is. Yeah, so the 269th episode today. That's right. Don't forget to tell a friend we're live. Let me see if I can now remove this. So view, read mode. There we go. We're winning. All right, now we're on track. We're on track. We're doing good. All right, so we're going to start the show as always. Don't forget to follow the Black Betterment Building Instagram page. Do a very poor job promoting it. Probably the worst promotion I've ever done for anything. So don't forget to follow it. So let's talk about reactive expectations. Sorry, retroactive. Sorry, I should know that. Retroactive expectations. What is it? Well, it's aka ancestral obligations are the constructive activities the Black community are desired to uphold to collectively recover from the atrocities from the past. And funny enough, both the topics connected. But I think everything we do is connected to this. It really is clever. So we can break down the 4 elements. Remember the atrocities inflicted upon the ancestors and community in the past and present, and behave in a way that reflects this. Reconnect with Black people locally and globally, and form networks and teach each other about different cultures. Repair Black community from historical trauma that caused self-hate challenges and health issues, and rebuild the Black family, Black economics, and Black nations. So we always start with this as a nice way of just centering us of what the mission is. And how do we do the mission? Well, we practice a lifestyle known as Black Betterment, you see. And that Black Betterment is a lifestyle of Black people continuously helping Black people. That's what we put on the show. We promote that lifestyle. And we're going to listen to some videos today, but the lifestyle of Black Betterment is a solution to all the videos we play. Is it? Yes, it is. Oh, yeah. So we're asking the family to agree or help contribute to the lifestyle and promote the lifestyle. That's right. All right. Cool. Fantastic. Super good. Oh, yeah. So people always welcome to jump in. Before you jump in, don't forget the 4D values. And these 4D values will be very good generally when in life, but when you're trying to find solutions for the community, use these. And that's discipline, dedication, dignity, and discernment. Oh, yeah. Discipline, dedication, dignity, and discernment. So don't forget those 4. Very important, very good. It will help you out. All right, and try to use descriptive language over derogatory language if possible. I know people find it very hard, but it actually makes talking slightly more easier. All right, Asian stores boycott. We follow discussion about boycotting Asian stores. So we're going to look at this. I've been actually commenting it's actually quite a big thing because we like a wave riding. You see, we promote the same thing for like 10, 20 years, whatever, right? But whenever someone starts a conversation in the area that triggers something that we promote, we jump on the wave and we try to find, a constructive way to ride it and make sure that the conclusion works in the collective best interest of Black people. That's right. So there's a talk going around about Asian store boycott. So we're going to look at that and history of it and stuff and what it's about, and see if we can offer our perspective and solutions and look at it from a Black Betterment perspective. You see, that's what we're doing. And Sudan Support, we're going to start with that one. We discuss how outside forces contribute to the infighting of Sudan and why it's important to find ways to support the victims. Yeah, we should have been doing this more in the past, trying to show. There was actually a data from. Let me see if I can. I'm going to type that in first, and I'll say, but Give me 17. I'll play the video there. So we'll start with the Sudan one. So don't forget to tell a friend we're live just to look at Sudan. I've got one video. Haven't seen fully, but this will help get up to scratch. So we'll look at the Sudan. Obviously, Sudan's going through like a civil kind of war, but we're more. That's something that we want to definitely try to find solutions to. But we're also interested in the outside forces that kind of benefit from it, or even help proxy and stuff. So let me see if I can actually find. So I hope that have I done it. Oh, have I done this? Let's see if I've actually. I hope I've put it in there. Let's see. I hope I downloaded it.
So it takes the.
It's funny. So where is the video? I mean, is this? Hold on. I probably haven't downloaded it because I'm a fool. I don't know. Was it? It was a video though. Give me 17 seconds, family. Downloads. I can't. I can't. Oh, here it is. So let's see if I can find it. I know I downloaded it, and now my internet is playing up. Why not? Why would you? Oh, because I'm looking for something. Is that what it is? Oh, it's because I'm looking for something. Let me see if I can find it here. Because I downloaded. I think I had two videos, but one was actually like a JPEG or something. So that's not gonna work. But did I not? Let me just look inside my folder to see if I have actually the Sudan cry. Oh, then I've got Mrs. Africa, which was a crisis, yeah. And then I had. Oh, you know what? The thing is, oh my goodness, I do actually have quite a lot of videos that I haven't downloaded. I do collect a lot of videos. I really am on this. Let's see if there's any. Let's see if the one I wanted is not there. Give me 4 to see if I've even got it. If not, we'll move on. But maybe what I could do is share the screen. Yeah, I'll share the screen. On. So let's look at that. This is Africa and the UAE. Let me see. Okay, yeah, that's the best way to do it. Let's read it from a script. Why not? I've had a fantastic video, but I ain't got it now. So we'll just look at it from a thing. So I'll read it in real time. So if I can share and care, we can be there. There we go. Share and stop share. You go. Stop sharing that one. Start sharing this one. Technology. All right. Let's see if I can. So for those who know, there's obviously a war going on. Civil war in Sudan. It's never good, but they say that certain Arab nations, more so the UAE, seem to have some kind of benefit, connection to it and stuff, which is not good. Where's the save thing, man? There we go. Share screen. Yeah, I think this is right. Dun, dun, dun. There it is. Aha. So I think what they're saying is like there seems to be a connection between stuff going in Libya, Chad, Sudan, Eritrea, Ethiopia, and Somalia connected to the UAE. And I know that I think gold. Oh no, there's a little diagram of gold there. Handy. I know a lot of gold goes out of Sudan into the UAE, and I think the video I was trying to find was explaining that. But 6 nations harmed by the UAE relentless pursuit of wealth and power. So it's saying that's not good. Let's see what Sudan and the UAE investigative reports have documented an air bridge from the UAE to Chad used to deliver weapons and ammunition to supply forces from the RSF in Sudan. The protests in Sudan officially severed diplomatic ties with the UAE last May. In exchange for this military assistance, the Emirate companies collaborate with the RSF to mine and smuggle gold from Sudan to Dubai. So I think the video I had was about that. So that's one thing that they do, which isn't nice. Well, we have to obviously investigate more. But this is what seems to be now a lot of things circling. But also with Sudan as well, and also Congo, it is about getting more African and Black influencers, I guess, and news shows to report more, especially from the continent to the diaspora, because unlike other atrocities going on around the world, those kind of atrocities don't really get played too much. No, sir, they don't. It's not good. So we want to definitely highlight that. So this is just talk about Libya as well, Somalia. So it seems, a lot of and Ethiopia. It seems like the UAE's got a lot of things going on. But what I was actually looking at, funny enough, was I asked a question. And let me ask that question again. How many deaths in Sudan since the war. I was trying to keep up with the numbers. Let's see if they're. Oh, let's see if I get. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Well, that's interesting. I'm just typing two things now. How many deaths in war since? There we go. I'm just right. Give me 7 seconds because using my killer speed of a millipede. Let's see. Yes, that seems to be right. So this could be wrong. This could be right, and it might change every time you guys look. I was looking at this, and now, remember, you don't compare pain. You don't do that. You don't do that. You never do that. But this is more so just to show about organization and now I could be wrong, but I'm just me trying to connect the dots, end up somewhere else. Let me get rid of that. If I can even is this even thinging? Excellent. Yep, got my thing. Let's close that down. Now I should be able to find. So yeah, I've got this thing here, and what it was. I'm just gonna. This is a bit weird. Well, there it is. So yeah. Dun, dun, dun. So I was looking up, trying to connect the dots as you do. So I asked certain questions and got certain data and Windows. There it is. I said that. Yeah. So what I asked? It was I asked how many people have died since 2023. Because that's when the Sudan civil war started, if you want to call it civil war. It said 150,000, which is a lot. This is not good. Not good at all. And then I asked, and this could be wrong. Obviously, I'm probably wrong in most things. I think just to get, just to see if that's a lot or little when it comes to conflict. I said, well, what's the most famous conflict I see every day? And obviously, the Palestine one going on, unfortunately. So I said, well, how many people have died since that war began? That war actually began in 1947. So, and unfortunately, it's saying that this might fluctuate from depending where you get from. But it says 100,000. I remember seeing a bit more on this, but it was 100,000. So that means from 2003, allegedly, it's estimated that 150,000 have died in Sudan, right? While since the war began in Palestine, it's 100,000. Now, one death is one death too much, you see. One death too much. And everyone should come together to fix death. Death is never good, no sir. But it's just, and this is more so talking more so to black people and Africans and just the organization there. If 150,000 people have died in Sudan since 2023, and there is not that much circulating the world about this atrocity, while 100,000 have died since 1945, but it is the main atrocity that the world is trying to fix, which is this Israel-Palestine thing. And obviously, the connections between, medias and promoting that, despite what Israel might or might not want to report or whatever, it's still you're still quite aware of the atrocities, right? Although there's much hidden stuff, but you're still aware. So I think that shows that one, obviously the African nations and black people need to get organized, but also generally, and this is you're not comparing pain. Black pain generally isn't that newsworthy without your own kind of institutions. So that was just something I just thought, connecting dots. But who knows? Maybe I'm connecting the wrong dots. Shame on me. Who knows? So anyway, that's the Sudan Support. Sorry I couldn't get the video. I think all I remember was some Dubai woman with some gold chain singing or something, and then some came up. So it probably wasn't that cool. But I should download it, but I did not, did I? So now we're going to go into the most important topic. Well, both the topics are important, but most important in the sense of it's relevant right now, and we have content on it, so we can actually jump on it, right? Because everything's important. So let's. So where is it? So what I'm going to do? How should I start? So the first was Asian boycotts. I don't start. So England, in England, I think the most dominant society collectively is Asian. I think Asians are slightly more Asians than black people in the UK. It wasn't always that way. There used to be more black because of the Windrush and that kind of stuff. But as time goes by, the Asian community have grown bigger. And I think there's a lady, I wrote her name down. Is it Ellen? It's probably not Ellen, so don't call me on that. But she's making a bit of noise saying that, I want to boycott Asian stores. And then obviously you have a lot of people jumping in, other people making videos saying, no, yay, no, yay. I was interested in looking at more black men's response to it because my thing is to reform black men, because it seems that that's just from analyzing, just at least from a greater number, black men, especially in the UK. I'm not as connected, educated on the importance of black families and black economics and the connections of the two, and how to support communities and stuff. So it was interesting to see the response, and to be honest, a lot of the response for naying the idea was from black men, but obviously good reasons were given here and there, and that's why strategy and how you speak is important. And we're going to unpack that today. Yes, we are. But what we should do first is let's look up how some. I had a video. We've played this video before, but this is a snippet of it, and this was some relations of black and Asians in was it 90s, 80s? I don't know.
It takes the piss.
Let's see if I've actually got it. There it is. Dun, dun, dun. So this one.
There is a huge clash between young West Indians and Asians. Some of it is clearly down to tribal differences. But some of it appears to be about economic success. Some Asians who have climbed the ladder in the money stakes are now putting down the black man.
It's just a joke my son was telling me the other day. It's a kid's joke, yeah? He was asking me what would I call a black woman who refuses to have any kids. Crime preventive. I mean, all businesses here, the population is mainly black and the businesses are mainly Asians. What's that telling you?
I'm off to meet Jaswant Singh Sandhu. He owns a string of small businesses in Birmingham. Jas is a Sikh who came to England from India when he was a boy. Today, he's shopping for his fourth car.
You got a black man in a Rolls Royce. Thief.
Jas feels that the West Indian community, like the Asians, have failed economically.
Would you say the gap between us and the West Indians in progress is acceptable?
Well, I never look at what other people have or don't have. That's not the way I conduct my life.
I'm the second generation, as far as I know, the second generation of West Indians quit a long time ago.
They did what?
They quit. They didn't want to do a day's work. Apparently the white man don't give them jobs. It's funny how we get them.
But what I hear is that you work from morning to night.
Who's that, the Asians?
Yeah.
So what's wrong with that?
Well, they have the highest percentage of heart attacks in the country.
Well, would you rather a guy was lazing around all his life doing wrong?
Who lazes around all their life?
Well,
I don't know.
The black youth of my age are lazing around. I can't understand how does any community explain grown young men walking around at 2 o'clock in the afternoon? Don't they have a job? Don't they have anything to do? We drive around, but it's all connected to business.
What Jas is really telling me is that the West Indians' poor economic performance justifies his prejudices. I've never thought I'd hear this from an Asian brother.
Interesting this. So that was a documentary that came out, I assume, the 90s. Could be wrong, or maybe 80s. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe 2000s. Like they were using the same camera for so long until the digital cams came out, or the HD and stuff. But it's the thing with this is with that documentary there. See, we played a bit further before we moved that and add that. So the thing with that is, obviously you saw the Asian gentleman. I think he came from India as a young man, maybe, and he came here, he had disdain for the Afro black people in general, but the Afro community, the West Indian community. So, and he had a whole load of jokes and stuff like that. And he observed that in the black communities, there's lots of black people, but all Asian shops. And he's saying that black people are lazy and they don't want to work and this kind of stuff. But once again, even though he understands his clientele might be black, he doesn't feel that there needs to be any kind of respect there. And even if what he's saying was correct, let's pretend it was. the way is that how you would treat your clientele? So this is how, unfortunately, a few Asian individuals behave in those days, and all over London, Bristol, Birmingham, that kind of stuff. Apparently, this was reported similar kind of behavior pattern. And I think this is what the sisters tapped into history of that. But the irony is that the gentleman in the actual documentary, he's a famous brother, and his name slips me. Shame on me. But I think he's actually married to an Asian woman. So I think it might have hit him quite hard, and I only he can say. But that's what usually hits a lot of brothers, especially black men, where they really they marry into other communities, and they really they really want to he referred to them as brothers and this kind of stuff, and they really want to connect. And it really hurts them a lot when the complete bamboozleness of like, we think you're monkeys, you think you're stupid, we don't respect you, and this kind of comes out, and it's, oh my days, I'm actually connected to this family, and ultimately my children's children might be might be this, might actually become this group, because if one person keeps marrying into a culture, then they eventually become that culture within 1 or 2 generations. So that was the irony of that kind of that's something that we see, that kind of collective bamboozlement of black people, always like doing a lot, trying to integrate into other cultures, taken away from us and given to others, only to not be loved for it but hate for it. And that's a unique thing, isn't it? Where you say, I will marry you, I will give you all my money, I will leave my culture and do your culture, I will defend you whenever black people mention anything. And despite all that, that seems to be, whether regardless of Asian, Arabs, or European, that still doesn't seem to be enough to make them actually like the individual or black people in general, which is very interesting. But then that's what it is. That's why you have black betterment, because black betterment is the solution for that, because you're not looking outwards, looking inwards. So there you go. So yeah, that's just a historical kind of. Now obviously there's good Asian and good black people relations here and there. We're always talking about cultural norms that seems to have just been adapted. So starting with that, with this what I'll do is, I was going to play, it's like 30 minutes, right, which we'll play all of it when I've got time. Well, let me play some of the videos that the sister was going through. Now, I'm not saying her delivery or the angle she's coming from is what I would choose, but let's just try to get. She has a response to her, so let's see if I can find it.
So it's been brought to my attention that some people.
Is this one? No, we won't look at that. This history part 1, I think it is. Nope, not that one. Maybe this one. Yeah, so this is, excuse the language, please. This is some of the reactions.
That's all it is. She needs some good wood and she'll go back to normal. See Elaine the Pain, she's not racist. She don't have hate towards the Asians. Do you know what it is? It's just a lack of wood. That's all it is. You see, when you don't give girls good wood, they start to malfunction. They start going crazy. Hoo-ha-rah-rah. They start making things up. They start seeing things. But as soon as you pipe them down good, they go back to normal. They go back to factory reset. And I personally believe that Elaine the Pain is not getting no wood. She's frustrated. Do you know what I mean? She must have walked into an Asian store and she's like, you know what? Fuck, I'm gonna take my anger out on you because I'm not getting piped down. The South Asian community is gonna get it. Hey, since you are onto the South Asian community so much, I suggest someone from the South Asian community slide into her DMs and give her a bit of the garam masala, you know what I mean? Spice up her life.
I don't know who this individual is. He might be famous on TikTok or not. Maybe he's a comedian, whatever. But we're just showing you some of the responses that some of the online individuals are doing. Let's see part 2. So
Black empowerment is for us to go work in somebody else's shop. But baby, we passed that level decades ago. But apparently Malik up here has all the answers. And these are the initiatives he got off of ChatGPT. You see, Malik, when you spent 400 years building somebody else's empire, employment stops feeling like progress and starts to feel like deja vu. See, Malik, as you sweetly shared with us that your granddad built wealth in a black country off of the backs of black people and then came to the UK to buy this shop. And you think we need you to hire us? The irony is marinating like oxtail on Sunday. You see, selling meat to black people doesn't make you the Messiah. It makes you a butcher with good marketing. Let's not confuse commerce with community care. And that little logo idea is very cute, but we're not collecting stickers. We're collecting equity. We don't need your approval. We need our assets. Listen, Back to Black isn't about racial tension. It's about independence. Because we've tried inclusion, and all black people got was overlooked, underworked, and underpaid. So thank you, Mr. Malik, for the wonderful job offer. But I'm too busy trying to create opportunities that hire you instead. Hashtag Back to Black, ladies and gentlemen, because we're not looking for shifts, we're looking to shift power.
That's the government. That was his video. I actually saw his video. I haven't got it here, but that was a response to it. Sorry about that. Let's see if there's one more. I think I got one more. Then we'll jump on the big one.
So it's been.
This might be how it was.
So it's been brought to my.
Now we'll just play the big one there. Let's play the big one, which is this one. Is this one? No, this one. This one 200 is quite big, isn't it? Compressed. All right. Don't forget. I'm not sure if you want to have your own opinion, you can always jump in and then say pause and you want to give your opinion and stuff. By all means, you just have to do it. I think the link is there. If it's not there, let me know. I think I'll put it there. Might not. Well, we're going to listen to half an hour of this. I'll keep stopping now and then, but we're going to see what causes of those. This is Ellen, right? Who is it? Ellen the Pain? My memory's not as good as it used to be. And we should reach out to the sister, or at least try to follow in some. But yeah, this is what motivated her to try to do the Back to Black campaign, and let's see if we can support or how we would do it and all that other good stuff. So let's go. Don't forget to tell a friend we're live. Your opinions matter, so jump on if you want to give it in the comment section. Shall I read some of your comments? I think all your comments were actually about the Congo stuff. So big up, big up Dominic, big up the Garveyite Republic 1887, big up Rasta, and big up the Black Man Broadcast, and big up everyone else who's live in the background and those who will listen in future times. It's your show. Let's go.
It's about damn time. Now, joking.
Literally. Welcome. How are you?
Thank
You've
you for
actually
having me.
been on our list for a while, but once you commented, I think we used one of your clips.
Yeah.
And you was like, can you tag me? Then it was like, well,
Literally.
she's made contact now.
Oh,
so
really?
Yeah.
We like wait for the person to be like, to
Oh.
or something, and we're like, we can get there. We're on their radar.
Yeah.
Listen, you girlies, honestly, like the content that you put out is just fun, loving, free, and I absolutely love it. So
You and your fun
The
loving.
blood clot.
Roughly.
within the first, what is it, 5
No,
minutes?
it's gone. We did
We've
it.
got.
I was like,
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
got-
we got time.
we
Nah,
got-
you
get
can
stuff
stop
on
swear.
it.
You can
Get-
swear now. Get all of
Get
the chest. All right, guys. Okay, look. As we know, as we do. Last week we had a special, so we haven't done enemies of progress. So there's a long list of enemies that we got to catch you up on. There's a lot. But we thought we'd hand it over to our guest to take it away. Elaine Payne,
yeah.
who's your enemy of mother effing progress? Tell us what's going on with your world, love.
Listen, these people
What's
on
the
my
thing?
back, okay? They're like a
happened?
monkey on my back. Like,
Listen.
honestly, this week has been very trying for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
But you know my content, you know it's all about the black community and black people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there was one video that kind of triggered it all off, right? So basically there was this boy and black boy, and he was talking about like the Asian community and stuff like that, and also, you know, they're not integrating enough and all of these sorts of things.
I feel like it takes the piss when they come into the country.
So I think I tried to play this last week, or maybe I can't remember. I think I did, and this was an interesting angle to take. So let's listen to this, and I'll make a comment.
And then they build their own community and they think that they have their, let's say for instance, Ilford Lane. That's the one place I could really think of, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
They've taken over to the point where the British don't even want to live there no more. They move out to Dagenham, they move out to Essex because they want to get the fuck away from it.
Yeah.
They're buying everyone out. They're trying to make their own shops. flushing money through the shops, washing money, dirty money, everything.
So, first of all, this is young brother. I don't know if it'll be his place to. Is he speaking on behalf of English people, or does he identify as English? Right? But I don't know if it'll be a place to say it. Also, he's describing them creating communities and economics, right? I don't know if he's the right angle he wants to approach. He's a young man. I don't know where he got this narrative from, but I don't know if it was his place to speak on Asians economically expanding in an area. And also, if people want to leave because people have shops and stuff, that says more about them, right? Now, as for laundering money, so I don't know anything about that.
And they keep things behind closed doors when it comes to all sorts of stuff. Let's face it, that's how it be within their community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I think this. I don't think it's place to say this stuff, and also I don't think he understands the importance of black economics. So, because ultimately you'll be doing similar stuff, but just not whatever nefarious thing he was saying, not that.
English don't want that no more.
I think it's English. Maybe it's a new slang where English means the citizens of England rather than white people.
Even no offense, even the Eastern Europeans to a degree, but then there's a different type of work rate. They're not lazy. They're not keeping things between themselves. They're
lazy. Who's he saying is lazy? He's saying it because that's not what they are. I don't think so. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know what motivated the direction of this conversation. It's very unusual to see black people speak this way, and this is the separation between the above generations and younger, where they start taking narratives from YouTube channels. I don't know.
Still got to give back to the community, but when you think about the Asians now or certain others, you know what I'm saying, they come along, they take the piss because they're not giving back to the government or the country, England as Britain stands. You know what I'm
saying? Okay, so I don't know why that would be his place to say this kind of stuff. Very, very
So obviously he could have said it better, but at the same time I was like, well, he's kind of making points, innit? Like, and then I wasn't really like thinking about it. I was like, okay, it's his opinion or whatever. Where's me look now? I'm gonna go down in the comment there. Yeah? And I see so much racism from the South Asians. I said, oh, what the blood clot this?
What did you say?
So in your comments they were going...
In the video that I saw, right?
Oh, in that comment.
I saw, yeah. And that triggered the fuck out of me. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna have to address this, right? So basically, I cussed them out, innit? I cussed out the South Asians and I was like, listen, you are the buffer class, yeah? And I'm going to break it the fuck down for you and I'll tell you why, right? So obviously I did my research before and whatever. Obviously I did this triggering video and they're like, oh, all this Asian hate and all of these sorts of things. But I had to tell them, I said, listen, post-World War II, when we came over, right, it was the Caribbeans that answered the call first because they invited everyone from the Commonwealth to come and build this country, you understand? And the Caribbeans answered first. And we were here first and we were building them. Transport links, hospitals, yeah? Like roads, we did it all, right? And then a couple years later, Britain opened up its doors back to the South Asian community. So they invited the Bangladeshis, the Indians, and the Pakistanis, right? All of that, cool. Then I said, at the end of the day, I was like, you are the buffer class because the white people hated black people so much, right? That white people are here, the Asian people were here, and the black people were here, you understand? So I was like, when we're talking about the integration and all of those sorts of things, you got mortgages. Don't forget, when you came over here, you got mortgages. You got access that we didn't have. You know what I'm saying? And I said, furthermore, when black people were fighting for their rights and all of these sorts of things, you benefited from that too. Yeah. Yes, I was telling them, I was like, listen, you don't want to have it with me, because I've got history on my blood clot side, you understand? And I'll tell it as it is. Anyway, so now I'm reeling off the stuff, right? And I'm saying, and then I did a TikTok live, right? Because I was like, no, I'm hot, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that they feel like they have something on us, calling us criminals and all of these sorts of things in the comments.
Oh, so this was all in the comments?
Yeah.
The standards, like, you guys ain't got no culture, you're criminals.
Exactly what the white people say. Exactly what the white people say. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to pressure your blood clot community, you understand? Because the Asians ain't had pressure yet, you know what I'm saying? So I did a TikTok live and I asked my questions. I said, first of all, why can't the Asian community take criticism? That's number one. I said, number two, do you feel like that community is anti-black? I said, number three, when they're buying up all the houses, when they're...
That's a very important question. Do you feel you're anti-black? I think the undisputed response you're going to get from the Asian community is anti-black, obviously colorist, which that leads to their own community. And also, they have a hierarchy of hatred, and black people might be at the bottom, tend to be the very bottom. And they also have a history of doing caste systems, but that's more internal. But so yeah, this is the negative elements that she takes, and that's been true for a very long time, right? And that truth also bleeds into other communities as it pertains to looking at black people in general. So so she started this thing. So that she's just explain, that part of this camera.
Buying up all the businesses, and white people and black people are moving out of the area, right? Is that not gentrification? Right? So now I'm making these points because let's keep it a buck. They're not inclusive when they're in their community. They don't do business with black people. I've never seen no black company and an Asian company merger and all of these sorts of things. But you absolutely take from my community. You take our money. You provide hair products. You literally have studied us, you understand, to get our money, but you don't share the wealth, right? But we are all minorities out here. And I said, no, I'm going to pull your card and I'm going to pressure you. Answer my questions. South Asians coming up. First of all, they were like, oh, I said, so why don't you share the wealth? Oh, we look after our own. We look after our own. And I said, okay, cool. And then obviously they were like, oh yeah, because there's a history with the Pakistanis and the Indians and the Hindus and the Sikhs, and it was rolling into like, nationalities and also religious background. I'm saying you guys can't even define what it is, right? And I was very confused. I was like, it's even worse. And then they were like, oh yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. So what do you call it when you're buying up all the stuff? Oh, well, that's just how we are. If the black community did that a lot more, then, you'd be able to make money and all of these sorts of things. And I'm sitting and I'm listening to this and I'm just like,
well, and if what she's retelling is how it happened, then that's a bit of a paradox, because, and this is fine enough. What I find when I do public speaking work is you get yourself in a circle of paradox where. So let's see what she's saying. She's saying that she's asking, why don't Asian community include black people in their economic plan in some element, right? And they're saying we just focus within. We have an Asian first perspective, and if the black people did that, you also will progress. But the start of this conversation is we're going to do that. That's what's caused all the insults and the chivalry from black men jumping in and stuff, right? So it's once again it's that circular kind of reasoning, which when you ask what fools over, hold on, what are we talking about here?
But you're exactly like the white people. And they're like, oh, why is all the Asian hate? I said, it's not Asian hate. I'm asking questions. You understand? And you can't answer my questions, because if it was white people and they weren't including black people, we tell them, where's your inclusivity? Where's your diversity? Where's this? Where's that? And we crucify the white people, as we should. You understand? But when it comes to that community, all of a sudden now they're untouchable. We can't ask questions. We can't do this. We can't do that. And I said, nah. So now I did a second video and I said, after I did my live, I come off a live and then someone sent me a live and they have my face in the background, right?
Wow.
They had my face in the background and there was 4 South Asian men sitting on the live, and they were literally the racism.
Wow.
Yeah, that was coming out. I've never seen it, man. And I was like, you know what? Let me join the live to defend it. You understand? Because I'm going to defend it.
Yeah.
So I went up there and they were like, oh, look at this Kali, and all of these sorts of things. Oh, Kunta Kinte and all of these sorts of things. Yes, they told me, go back to the jungle and all of these sorts of things. I said, I'm telling you this for free. I've never ever experienced racism the way they lit me up with racism.
Pod was that?
It wasn't a pod, it was a TikTok live.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I mean, weren't they a group of people that just
no, so on TikTok live.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, who put it together? What
Oh, it was a South Asian guy. And then he had like most of the South Asian men on there. And I said, I said, I'll answer your questions, but what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to tolerate the racism.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you have my name in your mouth, you need to spit it out, innit? If you want questions answered, oh, why will the Asian hate? I said, is it Asian hate to ask questions about why you guys flex the way you do? That's not Asian hate. Right? And then they started with the racism or whatever it is, and then they dropped me in it because obviously we were going back and forth. I was like, listen, we can go ban for ban, you understand? Right? So they dropped me, and then literally whatever. So I was like, you know what? I went on my live and I asked my people, because my people on TikTok know me, you know what I'm saying? I'm there for the black community. And I asked them, and I said, should we boycott Asian shops? Is that what we should do? And then every one of them said yes. Yes.
So when we had this before, we said that obviously the approach would be to support black, and she has a response to this, and the others have a response to that as well. Would be, you know, for a campaign you support. Now she has her motivations, but the word boycott usually is connected to an action. Now there's plenty of actions you can connect it to, but that action has to be really made clear, like because of these behavioral patterns or this collective outcome, a boycott is needed. That we were talking similar to when the sisters were being attacked in the store, in the hair shops, where they tried to get hair products and the weaves and this kind of thing, and were being followed, accusing of theft or whatever it might be, or just being attacked, and we documented. It was a big thing maybe 2 years ago or so, I can't remember. And that, so something like that would have been a good motivation to boycott the shops in this area, and also the historical talk of like networks where, and then there's a few sisters who actually have shops, and they've complained saying that it's very hard to get supplies and stockists and stuff because they won't sell it to them, and all other kind of things that they can really highlight now if they were here talking. Don't forget, if you're jumping out, you can just click on the link. It should be at the top. Let's go.
Because how are black people supposed to mobilize if they're in our communities? It's not no Asian hating. It's about economics and why black people can't keep their black money within their community. So when you go to your corner shops and, you know, the food stop that they sell, right? They sell food. They go to the corner shops. They have chicken shops lined up in our thing. It's all going back into their community. How is it coming back into ours? We have to boycott them. We don't want to, but we have to boycott them to keep it within our community. Otherwise, how are we going to progress? Right? I can't do it on my own. I need black people to help me. And I also said as well, I said, black people, you need to take time with black businesses as well. Yeah. I said, because at the end of the day, nobody taught us. We're just doing it on our own and we're trying. So I said, you know what you need to do? If someone's given a bad service, take the manager to the side and said, you know what? I want to support your business, but this ain't right. And I need you to change that. You don't keep your teeth and walk out, right? I said, we need to take time and we need to have grace with our people because nobody taught us this.
So this is where she's onto something, and there, as in from a delivery standpoint. That's very true, and that's something that we can get behind easily.
We have to stick to our own. So if we have to boycott them Asian shops just to show that we can actually do this, because too many times people say, we can't do this, we can't do that, we're criminals, with this, with that. And I did a video and I said, I need to speak life into my people. I need to speak life into my people because we can't keep going through this. I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of these people saying that my community is criminals. I'm tired of these people looking down on my community and thinking that we're nothing. I said, no, man, we have to try this.
I do hear. There's so many points to it. I think we definitely have to buy black.
So the sisters, you know, these are the constructive. So the first sister is the fiery sister, I guess. And these sisters will have more of a kind of like strategized delivery way of putting it.
Yeah. First, like that should be our first point of call. Everybody should have that consciously. Right. Yeah. I think the problem is so many people don't because they too are racist, and I guess it's trying to speak to a set of people that don't see anything wrong with the black pound not staying in black circles because they're like, that's how the world works. There's so many black people that are so assimilated. They don't trust other black people the same way white and Asian people don't. I think it's a tough, realistically, it's a tough call. But I think it's definitely one that we should all be doing. You should try and buy black first. You should definitely seek it out. And I think grace to businesses is so important for running a business for like over 15 years. All of the complaints that I would get were always from black people. And I had white customers too. But when you piss a black person off, for one, they're going to write about everywhere.
Absolutely.
They are the level of like they're so affronted, like you literally stole from them. They will go to that level.
Yeah.
Whereas other communities, I didn't really find that. Like they're going to be pissed, but it's not the same. There's a venom, and I think for time we don't really talk about it. But there is a hatred that we have for our own, and the success that we wish upon our community. Can people really hold it? Like, think of how folks go after Krept and Conan. Like, just anybody that does well, I feel like there is.
So this is talking about. There's a lot of things going on, like you know, the natural distrust that you find in the black community, plus the ease of opportunities for people to sow distrust, in the sense of people who get into a certain career just to scam or just to not give back, whatever, right? So that's there. And there's also the jealousy element, where some people might be jealous of a particular person, maybe a popular person having a business, and why do they have to have everything? I mean, that goes on all over the world, but in the black areas where we're focusing, especially when you have the crabs in the barrel kind of concept, or just people, a higher population of poor people.
There is something else before we get to buying black that we need to address: our self-esteem, how we view each other, that we are kin. I think that's the first steps, and then you get to, we're going to buy from each other.
I really think it all boils down to divide and conquer. Like, we have been done so dirty, you know, in terms of like, we don't respect each other enough.
Yeah.
We don't trust each other. And then when you do, someone's wishing for your downfall.
Yeah.
And then comes with all the economics of it all as well. Because if you think about a lot of...
So this is why black Betterment is important. The lifestyle, teaching the culture, the lifestyle of loving black. And then that's like hating black people has been taught, but loving black people has been taught. And also as a certain level of selflessness, you see, where, where seeing other black people progress makes you happy. You see, and that's why if you see myself debating in certain circles where we're trying to find solutions, you might find that certain things I say, someone might, and you can see some of the videos, they tend to turn to like me personally, like, oh, I bet you do this, I bet you do that. And the correct response is no, you're loved, whatever. But also, let's just say I am the world's worst, whatever it is. You are better, and that's fine. But as long as black people progressing, that is the goal, right? So I don't mind losing as long as black people are winning. So you try to find a way to remove yourself as a centerpiece from something, and you centralize the collective betterment, because the term collectively inadequate is a very true statement, and that really means black people working as a collective for the collective betterment. You see, and that is one of the challenges that black people face. You see, so that is why black betterment comes to fulfill and solutionize that very particular ancient old challenge.
black hair shops, let's take that for an example, right? You'll have a successful black hair shop, but then who's all the products coming from? Where are they buying that from? And then a lot of times what happens is when there is a successful black hair shop, the suppliers of that, or the high street, like I won't name the names, but there's some major suppliers in the Asian community, they will trigger the people that are supplying the main products to no longer deliver to those.
Yeah.
They'll interrupt that. We know this.
Yeah.
This has been
Or open another
I'm
shop.
not lying about it.
Yeah.
Or open another shop. So then
And
it's very hard.
Yeah.
Then when you're a individual with one shop, it's very hard to compete with a man who's got 10 shops or 20 shops and to sell at those prices. So I think we as black people have to give each other grace, but also have to understand the price is the price. And that's something that we don't generally respect.
Yes.
It's always like, well, why is it this? Because it is.
Yeah.
And that goes for food shops. That goes for everything. We're always complaining about why.
I've been trying to, what's this saying is like, when you're not included in a network to get cheaper deals, and you're dealing with another person who has 10 stores or more, that she says, you're going to find that there's many products that they'll have to charge more. and that might force someone to go elsewhere. And that makes more sense to go to the cheapest place possible, right? But that doesn't, you're already at a disadvantage in that process. So the way you got to think about it is like, what is it? What could you inject in your head to make you buy black, a certain amount of black stuff, that makes you not feel like you're losing? And if you look at yourself, many people, they go and they buy like brands. I think we actually watched this a few weeks back, where people buy brands to make them feel good, and we even watched How to Sell to the Negro. Now, with some of these brands, people buy these like high-end brands. It might cost £2,000 to buy, but it probably costs £100 to make or less or whatever. And then some Asian man was saying that actually the bags are very cheap. What makes them expensive is it's done here, but we send it to Italy for them to put the logo on because that's how it says made in Italy, blah, blah, blah. All these techniques they do. Well, how you feel about spending more money for something that you probably know it isn't that much really to make, right? Because you're buying into a brand. But you can apply that same psychological mechanism in buying black. Like, I am buying black. I am part of the process to help that people collectively heal from being conquered by others. I'm part of the process to allow the next generation to actually know better and have better. And you can actually pinpoint the actions, and the action is, yes, I'm spending 7p more for this loaf of bread, or I'm spending 42p more for this vegan cheese, or whatever it is. Whatever you buy, right? There you go.
There's this when I can go to there. The reason why other communities, and it isn't just the South Asian community, but they are very successful in black spaces. But if you look at other communities, why they are thriving, it is because they keep their money within their communities.
Mm-hmm.
We've been taught not to do that because we have been displaced. And unfortunately, we haven't grasped onto the fact of divide and conquer enough and what that really means. It isn't just about within your own race, colorism. It isn't just about that. It isn't just about tribalism. It isn't just about that. It's everything. It's a mentality. They've done such a number on us that we're unable to pull ourselves out of that to this day.
Very true, very true. And these sisters seem to, like I said, these sisters, they're two ends of the coin. One is very level-headed and methodic approach. The other is more fiery.
21st fucking century, 2025, and we're still doing that shit.
This is the thing. I feel like as black people, we don't have the systems, right? And every time we tried to build a system, the door was slammed in our face. It was shut. We were blocked and all of these sort of things. So if you keep kicking down a community, at some point they are going to give up because they're like, every single time I try to do this, it's not happening. But at the same time, when I spoke in that video, I said, we're going to have to keep trying again and trying again and trying again until we get it right. I said, you know what? I don't have all the answers, but
two very important things there. Keep trying again, refining it to get it right. And yes, that is what we're doing. This sister is not meant to have the answers, but she has pointed to a direction that we know is important. So you can't look at it as some kind of leader figure to the promised land. It's more so, how can we join in to refine? That's what we're doing here. So we can help approach the message, even though she's very strong on the message she wants, but we can help the message and the direction, as well as using other platforms to create this narrative. But the sister, with her, and that's how the algorithms work, with her controversial approach, she's started a very good, important topic. And from my standpoint, I also have highlighted many of the brothers who are unsynchronized in understanding the importance of this, because my job primarily is to reform men. So that's well done to her.
I can suggest sort of things. I said we need to start teaching each other. I said people on TikTok live, Instagram live, talking about single this and all of that. No one gives a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Right now, no one gives a fuck. If you're about the black community and you want to do, teach, be and teach. You understand? Do a TikTok.
Please forgive her language.
Live, marketing Mondays. Who wants to market? This is what I'm doing. Wednesdays, wacky Wednesdays, whatever it is. You need to start using your voice and using your skill set. If you're doing a 9-to-5, you work as an accountant. Teach up people how to balance books.
Then the other
Each one teach one ideology, very important.
problem is the other thing we've been taught is that there's only room for one.
Yeah,
That's the other problem.
The historical issue there. Feeling that only one person can be in a certain space. That usually comes more so from being hired, I guess, or maybe taking it. But yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
Go on, no, finish what you're saying.
No, it's okay.
I would say the younger generations seem to understand collaboration a bit more. I think the generations that come from the direct Windrusher generation to the 80s, 70s, 80s, and early 90s. I think the mindset is changing now. Collaboration is starting to be a thing. I think as we're coming up and seeing a lot more in the creative space, especially, that people understanding that strength in numbers and knowing who's black in your corner is a real thing. I definitely collaborate with a lot of black people. I don't have the same issue. And I think also it's about how we phrase things, how we speak.
Yeah.
Because we need to speak kindly about each other.
Yeah.
I refuse to say that black people can't collaborate, because I know there's 101 businesses that are populated by black people, are frequented by black people. We might cuss as we go in and cuss as we leave. We go back there next week.
Yeah.
So that's what we should amplify.
Yeah.
The companies, the businesses that are doing well, and the business that we frequent, we kind of do quite a good job of that on this pod, and we talk about it. The work that I do on a daily, the work that you do on a daily with your shop that you've had, the work that you do in the work that you do on a daily, where you're making sure that there's a focus or a hindsight on bringing in black talent, what I do with the British Blacklist, all of that stuff. There are black people who are genuinely about that life. We just have to speak about them more. And in regards to the Asian conversation, I think, Krept and Conan are working with an Asian man to do the supermarket. So there are, just to say, it's not all Asian, not all South Asians, and there are black people that work with South Asians, and it's a great relationship, whatever the case is. But there is a misrepresentation of our culture that gets the stereotype, bad, negative press that other cultures can.
The sister mentioned the British Blacklist. I put a link in. I think that's is that more so? That's a network of, I think, creative works, so acting and music. So I assume, I think I should know this. I think that's what it was. Let me check the David. My results used to be, yeah. I think it's more so creative talent. Yeah. So it's creative talent. Yeah. Well, the link's there if you want to see it.
And just assume about us. So in that, I would tell you to don't go on live with them and don't even get drawn into those conversations, because the internet's the internet, and it's going to be hyper dramatized, over exaggerated, and all that click and all that stuff, and it just keeps doing that noise. What you need to do, it's not even about boycott the Asian shop. It's like, buy black. That's all your message is.
No,
buy black.
The reason why I disagree with that. Sorry to cut you.
No, go on.
The reason why I disagree with that is because when.
Point. So she's saying the focus should be say buy black. Sister has a rebuttal.
When you say buy black, we still are about convenience until we get out of that mindset to strictly go and buy black. You have to give black people options. If I don't give them options, what they're going to do, they're going to fall back into the cycle. You have to give, and this is what I'm saying. Like when I said boycott the Asian shops, it's because they're literally in every single community.
But as you said, give the alternatives. So you can say, the only reason I'm saying, because I think getting tied up into a culture war also isn't helpful for us, because we just look like the aggressors or something. I'm not saying don't call it out. I think there's
both sisters are giving very good points there about not being perceived as the aggressor, but what the other sister Elaine said was very true as well. And this is what I find: if you don't give strict directions consistently, black people will find themselves back to what they'll do. This is why I know it sounds like I was beating a dead horse or repeating myself, whatever. But this is why promoting black families and black love is important consistently, because if you don't do it, what you'll find is you walk in 5 years' time, you walk in a room and no black man has chosen to be a black woman. You see, this is just how it works in certain spaces, like maybe celebrities and politicians, sport athletes, people who achieve a certain amount, whatever. Once they become a certain echelon, the chance of them picking someone from their own group diminishes. So when you start realizing the consistency of that, plus you live in a world that's anti-black and all the other kind of stuff like that, right? This is why you have to actually say no. By being constructive and having a constructive black woman, you gain points in the community, and it heightens your chance of being seen as a leader. Blah 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 blah. So you have to have these kind of points. I think the sister's trying to reverse engineer that and say, rather than here's what you have to do, here's what you don't do. No, I'm not saying I disagree with that. Once again, I say boycott is best used when you're highlighting an undermining tactic that someone has done and has to be punished for it. That's the best time to use it historically. But the sister has her own
conversation that needs to. I definitely think there's a conversation that needs to be had, and I think it's fair that we have these conversations, because I think you're right in that we don't talk about interculture and tribal issues.
Why do we have to include somebody else?
I don't think we have to conclude. But we say buy black and list all the black options.
But you're saying you don't have to boycott that.
I know. I didn't say that. I said in your messaging,
yeah,
buy black.
Yeah.
That's
so,
it.
no,
You're
so
saying-
yeah. So you're
yeah.
saying don't say boycott, just say buy black.
Yeah, just
but
buy
that's what she's saying. No.
Well, it's basically like I just said. I mentioned that there was the boycott of non-black hair shops in September, right? And then what did I say? September finished, and where did everybody go?
Right.
That's what she's saying is by saying boycott, and it's stronger message when you say boycott.
But people boycotted and didn't. Yeah.
What I'm saying is when you say boycott, what that does is force you into one option. Like there are things that I boycott now, and I'm forced alternative.
And looking at the labels and everything like how you
I'm forced into alternative. When you just say buy black, like if I can, yeah, cool, I'll buy black in it. But if buying black isn't available, that's what you
right.
mean.
This is exactly.
And I agree with you. It isn't like I'm boycotting them. I'm just trying to invest into my community in the same way that they've invested to their community.
But my point, the only reason why is because sometimes it gets misconstrued as it's a boycott and it's not. That's why I'm talking about. It's about us and it's not about anything.
But it is a boycott because they do that, you know. Like within other cultures, when you actually really sit down and speak to them properly, they are taught it's us first.
Right.
It's not, and it's very clear. You don't go to Betty there.
Yeah.
You will go around the corner and you'll find Mr. Muhammad. But we don't have those conversations. It's not a thing because it's like, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there. But that's the language, isn't it? It's like we don't need to do semantics. Boycotting something is what they do. They don't go and shop there for a reason because the shopkeeper isn't them. And then within the Asian people, they do it even more. They will be like, we only go to the Sikh shops. We only go to the Pakistani. They do all of that. Black folk.
One of the challenges you're going to have in the community is certain communities do things by osmosis. They're taught young or they just naturally see and repeat. Black people don't tend to do that. Black people, once again, there was a thing we would call white wealth ideology. That is anything that collectively white people tell you to do that's for everyone, that once you do it only benefits white people, then that is white wealth ideology, right? And I think that is that we've been taught to do for others, what others have been taught to do for self. So now that you're trying to train openly black people to reverse that, you are looking like you are inciting something because other communities don't need to actually say that. They can do that. They can, with their choice, they can choose to shop where they want with no discussions or behind the scenes discussions, right? When you're trying to educate a community that's been trained to do for others rather than self, it's looking like you're trying to start something, you're trying to sway something. And that's the challenge you have to, how you approach that's important because it's far from the truth. But once again, black people are consistently at a disadvantage that even in making attempts to try to better yourself, you're seen as being the aggravator, right? And this works just like in the whole concept of trying to make black men constructive and marry black women. You know, others, they don't need to tell their community to love their own women because by osmosis, by training, they see the value in it. Plus, there's repercussions if they don't, right? But black people have been taught that, you know, love has no color, universal love. So if you try to place value on black men loving black women, you might be doing something perceived as something bad, you see. And this is in all areas of activity. That's why we say the three fundamentals, the triple triumphs. Let's break it down. Black health, black economics, and black family. You see? So it's all connected. Let's go.
Don't do it. It's hard. Even I'm thinking about it. Around me,
same.
There's one black shop.
Right.
There is one black shop
around me. I can't think of a shop that sells anything else but black food stuffs in my area.
There's a few near me.
Yeah. I'm talking about like conveniently going to the corner shop. There is one
supermarket.
But this is what I'm saying. When I put out that boycott, I didn't just leave black people in the wind to be like, yeah, let's boycott.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. So on my Instagram, I said, okay, cool. This is just the basics. I don't have all the answers, but this is the basics, right? If you can't physically shop a black shop, then you go online and you search for what you want. If you don't see anything online or whatever, then you go to a superstore. You don't go to that corner shop because it is Asian owned. You don't go to Asda, it is Asian owned, right? Until we can work out a self-sufficient system of what we've created for black people. So Christmas is coming.
Very important stuff. She says, now, I don't know this sister's history. Maybe she is algorithm based and she has a lot of shop kind of stuff on her page. And I heard her say some very strong things before. However, this is spot on. And I think this is something we should try to reach out and support with, really. It's a very important message, no matter who is saying it. And so the sister is correct on there. So yeah, that's something that we should try to. Like I said, we did say we're going to try to create a database of constructive or synchronized minded kind of brown sisters for us to come together to make these things easier. Like, it's easier to be around Black people who want to progress at that kind of like 3 fundamental levels: Black family, Black health, Black economics. And I think that'd be good to approach such a sister like this.
Coming up now, we need to look right now. November's approaching or whatever. We need to look for Black butchers so we can start putting in our orders, so they can start organizing themselves. That, you know, Monday they got the order, Wednesday they're out delivering to the community. They take another order on Friday. You got your turkey and whatever it is. Like, we need to start helping them create systems so we can keep the money in our community. That's the only way.
I agree with all of that. I agree with all of that. I'm not saying there's anything absolutely.
It makes a huge difference. In 2020, when this was like being pushed, my business probably 5-fold.
Yeah.
Like it went up dramatically for people just being like, look, I'm going to shop from you now. So then I could expand my range. It changed so much. I could redecorate my house. Like, literally, when you think about putting money.
I think the sister would say they supported her and she was able to progress her life. I think they did some campaign to support her shoe.
Into a Black family, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people that you are looking after. Now, when you're just thinking, I'm just going to.
Remember, other communities do this very well in consistency. Black people don't. And when you try to describe it and promote it, it gets discouraged and you try to reverse it. And that's why we need to have the right talking tactics to approach and to deliver it, because everything you do that's constructive will always be demonized, especially that many other community groups, the world, in fact, gets by Black people getting less, you see. And this is just how the world works. So when you try to reverse that, you're going to get many displeased people.
Go to the corner shop. I spend maybe 70 quid with them, but you put that into a Black household, and you keep doing that. Yeah. How are you going to change people?
Talking about generational wealth and how we get them, what we do. Generational wealth should be like community focused as well. It shouldn't just be like my little house and this is what I do.
Yeah.
How do you invest in your community? It's stuff like that. And this. You said something amazing on your on Instagram. You said the difference. What you're saying to people is what you're saying to the South Asian community. You're not saying they never had it hard. You're not saying that at all. But what you're saying to them is that you were just a few steps ahead.
Right.
And those few steps ahead mean something. Because that means that we're always behind.
That is breaking down the history of it all is very important.
Very important.
Because it's overlooked. It's overlooked
and for them as well. Their young people don't even know about that shit.
They didn't. Honestly, when I went on the TikTok live, they didn't know. They did not know. They weren't in the know. They just thought, oh, you're hating on us because we worked hard. I'm saying, absolutely. One thing that I can say about the South Asian community, they work hard. Yeah. They will take any job. They will do any job for any sort of piece of money. They work hard. You understand? But I'm also saying systemically. I'm not saying individually, and this is where they confuse the two. I said systemically, you had access that Black people didn't. And I broke it down even more, and I said the UK government declared war on us, right? That is the difference. Your community weren't pressured. Your Black boys weren't pulled up, stop and search and all of these sorts of things. And then we have to, so the UK government is attacking us from this space, and then we have to live amongst white people racially attacking us from this space. How do we prosper? Right? We're not focused on business anymore because I need to save my son's life. Yeah. We're not focused on that because I need to get a house so my kids can have somewhere to lay. Right? If those stresses were taken away, we absolutely could build our community.
Also, they have religion.
When people are able to get out of certain situations, we thrive.
Yeah,
but this is what I'm talking about.
Good to see the topic motivates the sisters. We're going to get more brothers talking about this kind of topic. That's what we should really try to get going. That's a very important thing there. Everyone has to write that down.
They've really done a number on us because they don't want us to thrive. So they put these obstacles, as you say, in the place. They put it in the way.
Yes.
And then they enable other people to do a little bit better. And then what do they create there? They create hate amongst people.
Right.
And it's just like, I feel sorry for you that you went on to this live and you were subjected to all of that racism.
Yeah.
Because the people that were racist to you, you were giving them facts. It's like when you talk to racist people and you give them facts. They can never come back with answers to what you're saying.
Yeah.
The easy way out is to just go for racism.
Yeah, and name calling.
And that's why I was like, more. That's
all of this stuff
makes no. But sometimes I do think they need to hear it, and they need to understand because they can. Well, just think of the government now. And all of the South Asian people that are in government that are very easily spouting things about immigrants.
Yeah.
It's easy to do that when you had roots here. They were basically training Asian people up to be doctors, and you were able to come over here. They were doing that within the Punjab. They did that, and the British love to do that. With certain communities, they will be like, "We're going to give you more education than these," so that they do that stepping system. But Muslims as well. That you are able to have loans where you don't pay interest on it. You again are a step ahead,
right?
Because you have access to money, but that you have a religion that you can pull into. Whereas for the majority of black people,
so what she's describing is cultures that connect people together and cultures that they can utilize, and that's what Betterment is. You see, it's a cultural lifestyle that allows black people to find solutions. You see, and you're gonna have people with different dietary laws, different religions, different languages, different social norms, but all connected by a lifestyle that is looking out for the collective betterment of black people. And that you can do with kind of pardon stuff and business building and each one teach one, all that good stuff, utilizing the culture.
People they're still under the kibosh of Christianity with no benefit to it is very different. Having loans that you can have access to where you can, in servitude to your imam, you can go and ask for help, or within family systems. It's like partners. This is what we need to really be like. We need a partner system going again.
We do it.
We do it.
But then we assimilate, and then you let it go.
We do.
Sisters are really tapping in some good stuff there. I mean, what you have to understand as well is like, no, and they do know this, but black people have faced a very unique form of destruction. And that is what we're seeing. When we say black men haven't recovered from being conquered by white men, this is what it is, and all the other kind of legacy of ideas that make black people having black people not work. Black people who discover new ideologies and new religion stuff, they will run with glee and come and tell you why they will no longer work with black people and work with other community groups, and they want you to know this. You see. So this is part of the whole collective, like black people want to disassociate, and there's so much going on at one time. Seeing black people failing and others winning, and you want to jump ship. Also, you try to do something and black people are not ready for it, and it's disparaging, and you feel deflated. This is why forms of like finding people like for like people within the black community to lead and take that small percentage and do collective good work and then build from that and then work on the collective behalf of the big masses is also a key. That way try to find ways to keep you motivated and around like for like people, so you don't feel like like all your efforts are wasted or you just can't bear to be around your own community group.
It's just we do partners. It's a smaller thing.
I've been doing it.
I know.
I've been doing it since I was about 16, and that's because my grandparents did it, and that's why I know like a partner. And I do feel like everybody needs to have a little partner, and because that has allowed me to do certain things that I would not have been able to do. That has allowed people that I'm in partners with to do things that they've not would have been able.
But it should be institutionalized in the same way they have their own banks.
Absolutely.
We should be able to have our own banking system in the same way.
But what happens with the partner, and when you explain it or you try to make it more mainstream, you get told that it's just a pyramid scheme.
Yeah,
that's what they want.
Whoever says that, that's your business.
But this is what these are the connotations that they want to put on it. So then that builds mistrust within our community.
Yeah,
it's like, why am I going to do a partner? Yeah. Why am I doing a partner?
It's funny that I've never heard anyone say why. Yeah, but was your
say why am I doing a partner?
My thing was like protect your peace and do what you're doing. Say what you're saying. And education is cool, but protect your peace as well.
You know what?
You're being dragged in by racists talking shit on you.
Yeah, you know what? This is the thing. Like I've always said this, like, I don't want to be a role model. I don't want to be an activist because then that puts stipulations on me. Elaine, you can't act this way. You can't act that way. You're representing the community. You need to do. I don't want that because I'll fuck it all off. Do you know what I'm saying? I want to be me. If I'm passionate about something, I'm going to speak on it because I'm for truth. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I don't want people to put me in a box to where I now am representing the whole. I said I don't. Right. But this is what happens with our community because I'm feeling it when people are asking me, oh, Elaine, where should we go? What should we do? I don't have all the answers. You need to help me.
It's what you're doing, like coming in here, talking about it.
Yeah.
We are always about, like, where you can is buy black, wherever you can buy black. And you just lean on your community as well. Like, it's not all on your back. It's definitely not all on Elaine's back. Leave her the fuck alone.
Leave it alone.
Leave her alone.
You should have that for anybody that you think is a leader.
Yeah.
This is where we go wrong.
Yeah.
You try and mold the leader to be like, this is the Jesus that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Do for self. Actually, you can take nuggets from what they're saying, apply it with your own critical thinking, and be like, this is how I'm going to mobilize myself. We do not need to be told by anybody what to do.
Yeah, we know
like
what
that's
to do.
when they infiltrate. When we try and look up to a person, that's when they go and kill them.
Like,
absolutely.
Use your brain.
Or give them some charge of some type of, they will reduce the person so that we're all like, oh no, we can't listen to them.
Right now, they're calling me Elaine Robinson. I said, let me run with that because I'll change my name real quick. I said, I will be the villain if it uplifts my community. I don't give a fuck. Fuck your feelings because my community have been left behind for far too long. Fuck your feelings right now. It's about my community. And if my community need to do this, then that's what the fuck they're going to do.
I was explaining as well to someone, or maybe I was meant to explain it. I see some brothers that started some shows, and they're trying to reform a lot of the street guys who have shows, and they talk about street stuff and all this kind of stuff. And they're trying to reform them, and they're reforming them with slackness. So it's like you have one person who has a vulgar tongue. When they're trying to, they have a vulgar tongue when they're promoting error proneness, and then you have someone who has a vulgar tongue when they're promoting high principleness. You see, and sometimes you might get confused in that kind of thing because you can focus on the vulgarity in it, and that's always something to remember. That when you're promoting something that's high principle, how you deliver it and the words you say could be very valuable because you don't want to be construed or connected to error proneness, which usually is delivered in the same kind of way.
It's always surprising to me that when we say we want to do that shit, we're
right.
When other people say they want to do that shit, it's okay.
It's divisive. We need unity. That's what they're telling me.
When you speak your truth in the way that you speak it, it's not always going to land.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I was reacting to, like protecting yourself and just being careful with words. But sometimes you just got to kamikaze through it and say what it is and let the chips fall.
Right.
It's just the individuals that are the truth tellers, you guys come to sometimes suffer first. We went through it when we talked about Americans. It will blow over also.
Oh,
people get tired.
Me and the Americans have a love relationship. Me and the Americans have a love relationship.
I love your reaction.
I don't give
It is what it is everywhere.
So when I was like doing my research on like how the South Asian community has studied us, right? Take for instance, I'll bring up these companies, Turtle Bay, Asian and white owned. Africana now in the last couple of years, it's literally a black cuisine, but who owns it? Asian. Pax, the hair shop, who owns it? Asian, right? And none of that money flows back into the Bamba Clark community.
I think we said we had a strategy where we were gonna like have, and you guys have to help with this, a list of black businesses like the super malts, the hair, the products, or whatever, and showing the owner and the logo and the product. I'll design it, whatever. That'll be a good thing to just spread to go viral. It's like products and companies and ranges and stuff. Let me write that down. I don't read what I write down, by the way, because I'm rubbish, but you guys will remind me. Product banners of black owners. I'm sure I'm going to read that message. I will. But remind me to that because that's a good idea. Obviously, you could do the reverse of showing black brands on by them, whatever. The funny thing is we've actually got a similar thing in here, really. But we've already got that. Funny enough, I just haven't done it. But remind me to do that and put it in a way where you can see the logo, the brand, and the owner, And then we also even had one that if they're married to black people or black women have a family, put them as well, as long as that's what they promote on their socials. So it's not, you want to, dash to do with private life. But yeah, it's a good thing. But after I show you that we've got 1 or 2 stuff on here already, need to redo them over. But it was just an example prototype.
To me, that makes me vex.
Yeah.
You understand? Because we're putting money in your blood clot pocket. You think white people could get away with that? You think white people could get away with doing that? The same way we crucify white people, rightly so. Why can't we crucify you? Right?
Yeah.
Come on now.
The black pound is strong, and they know that. That's why if they didn't care, if it didn't mean anything, they wouldn't be coming up with saying, "Oh, it's so it's too diversive." Like they wouldn't they wouldn't mention it. Like we spoke a few weeks ago about having a boycott day, basically where people of color just don't
down tools.
Yeah,
down tools for 2 days. We said, right? If I've been reading the comments, I don't read the comments often because I think people chat shit, right? But I've been reading the comments. I'm like, these people are dumb. The way that they're coming, so what? Nothing would change. Like they're coming for us in negative about what we're saying.
That's part of the strategy. You see, we've highlighted this before. It's part of the strategy. Remember, you know what? That's. I'm gonna write this down. After we video, we're gonna look at the designs for the Black Banner project, and 2, we have to look at what's it called now? So my memory is very poor late at night, especially when I've been working all day. What's it called? The bad intentions model. The bad model. It's called the bad intentions model. What? BAD. We'll go over that again because what she's describing, and we have to reference it, is the bad intentions model. So we'll go over that again, and so you guys fully equipped with it.
What do you go? You haven't even got passports. All this, like the things that people are saying. If you don't care, why are you in here? If we don't mean nothing to you, and it's not going to affect your life, why?
Remember, collectively, black people have no friends.
In here talking.
Right.
Come out then, innit? The message wasn't for you anyway.
Just what I'm saying.
It's just show of power.
Yeah.
Maybe that could change something. I don't know though. I feel like as I get older, I become more jaded in our community. I get more like, fuck's sake, I don't know how. I don't know what is going to be needed to shake us all up other than flipping aliens coming. Because it's just like,
it just seems like,
what can you do? Everybody is so complacent, so comfortable on the verge of...
That's why I have to teach a lifestyle black Betterment. That's the solution to it. When your children are born, you teach them this lifestyle. You build it into their psychological systematic mind frame, so they're constantly doing it.
Of the comfortability is going to go. Like we are in emergency states now, and it just annoys me that people are just kind of, as Jeff Schumann used to say, dancing your way through life, and before you know it, we're going to be like, oh, but we had a moment where we could have been all galvanized and done something, but we weren't. We were.
I just feel like go on.
No, go finish.
I just feel like with the challenges of like, certain black people being negative and stuff like that, like even when they were in my comments, oh, this won't change anything. And I'm saying, we don't need that negativity right now.
Yeah.
So what, instead of coming with your negativity, come with a suggestion or solution.
That's the point. Like an alternative.
Come with an alternative. If not, I don't need to hear that right now.
That's like the this is a little more topic. When we put the clip up about Marvin, and he was talking about his perspective of don't ask men why they're single. His perspective, mine is, and that shit, whoever that bloody author is that came to comment and say boring, I was like,
I think sister's asking about Elaine's past. Yeah, I think the sister might come from a clickbait or like an algorithm-based background, or whatever. And most people online, that's their whole thing. And like, some people who might be error prone, I'm not saying she is, might stumble into good ideas or briefly do them. And what she did say that was quite golden was she isn't the person to do anything because of her behavior pattern. And just the way she speaks really shows that, she's more of a universal kind of speaker, whatever. So, but nevertheless, what the truth of what she's saying is important. And rallying behind that concept and trying to refine it, I would say is quite important.
in sense of all the comments we could ever comment, and like next one to see was bot. You're not even a bot. You're a real person. I know people that are following you. Are you crazy? I was only restrained in my response because when I go off, you're like, you can't go off on people like that. But when I saw she was real, so that's why I did a calm, thank you for your comment, and put donut. But
she came back and said yum.
Writing was my first writing was you're an idiot. Like literally, it's like you're so stupid.
I would have said crumbs. That's what I would have said. You know me.
I was working. I saw it with it. I'm so angry.
I haven't seen it.
All she said was boring, and I was like, I got my body seethed. Because, like, first of all, it was a perspective that you don't hear. How can you say boring? How many? Oh my God, I could go on. And those the naysayers and the Neanderthals that undermine the conversation. Because where I sit is relationships, black love, black relationship, strength in the unity of love and marriage and kids and family.
Ignore them, innit? I don't know.
But it's like sometimes you people are the people.
They wear thin on me, man. I can't stand them.
Boring, you know.
Jarring.
Boring.
A cluster of stink. And blocked her as well, so she can't respond. You know, they never. Your hard work.
And your squad.
Right?
Go get another fake.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I tell you. Yeah,
they're going into their paragraphs, but then they get even more annoyed because then I'll just do emojis. And they'll be like, why are you doing emojis? Clowns.
I'll do essays.
I'm not doing essay for essay.
No.
I do paragraphs and everything. I like it.
This is how it goes, yeah? She comes out full guns blazing, cussing, good nuts, all types of shit, yeah?
I'll do paragraph, cussing.
Most eloquently.
I'll read them.
Essay. And I will just block them motherfuckers.
So you get a range of that.
You guys are all three of me. It just depends on my mood.
Exactly. Because I think people have been trying. The timber that's buried deep within me is coming out. That boring got me. Oh, my chest.
And it was just unnecessary as well. That was my first thing. It's like, this is unnecessary. You're having a shit day. Like, was going in. And you know, I always got to bring in, are you in a basement? And I was like, you know what? Got told off for this.
Do you know what? Sometimes because, do you know what? It's fine. Sorry.
You know what that reminds me?
You don't want to unleash me because you know.
You know the video that I did when I cussed out loons, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think you've seen it.
No, I thought
let me stop it maybe. I don't know I think that might be done. Hold on.
It's about discourse because these conversations we don't have.
Yeah.
We do need to have them.
We'll leave it there. The sisters do really good there. All right, cool. What I'm going to do now is, so this is a quick, round up, whatever. Let's go there. If you guys want anything you want to cover, let us know. But yeah, so the sisters were talking there, and I think some sisters in the comments also said, like, the woman who's bringing the campaign, she doesn't have the best history apparently online. I don't know much about her. I've seen something circulating around. And yeah, I think most of the people who come with stuff will be error prone, but like I said, we shouldn't look for kind of leaders amongst the average people. We should look to refine ideas that's good and ride the wave. Really, ride the wave of a good idea. Or it's a good idea that we all promote. It's just we might not have the connection or the tone to really get to a certain point. So we mentioned two things that we're going to quickly cover before we leave, and those are. One, let's see if I can find that thing. Let's see if I can find it. So, what the sister was saying is like highlighting brands that are in the black community but are not owned by black people. Now, hopefully, you'll see that all this stuff. So you'll see that when you'll start seeing like look at these. I'm going for the stuff. You're looking at people like just as a case study. Obviously, Quincy Jones and how he's a millionaire guy. He's married to only ever married to Europeans, and his children kind of the same for the most part, and they've all inherited wealth. So we show you how economics is that, and obviously Michael Jackson the same thing, and he adopted European children, and now they inherit his wealth. So you're seeing that behavior patterns that black people don't. It's not really a focus, and when you bring it up, people start getting bitter and saying you're this way. But it's actually trying to highlight what is the best way of living for black people. Aha, here we go. Let me move that away. So this was an idea we were thinking about, where we say black economics is black families, black ownership, black patronage, right? And we have the logo of the brand, a product they sell, and their family picture. And then, so I need to actually get a database up, but this was an idea. I've designed these, and I think is it square now? No, is it still square? I might have to change the design to rectangle. I think I can't remember, or maybe not. I don't know. Well, but I'll need a whole list of doing something like this. But this is something that we should have been really posting. But I say this all the time, but I get sidetracked with life and other community projects, which they shout and scream all the time. So yeah, but this is definitely a good idea of highlighting brands. I would say the family, if you can find that, that's very powerful, and the logo. But yeah, that's something to do. And then before we go, we're going to look at the bad intentions model, which the sister was saying that when they were talking about some kind of black initiative, maybe support black businesses or don't shop for a month here or something like that. They got a whole lot of naysayers and stuff. And I'll say that the paradigm or the system or whatever that's going on, that there is something that we call bad intention, BAD. And let me find the breakdown of it. Hopefully I've said it, unless I can post it. I've got a lot of stuff in this document. I need to really formulate it. What? You know what? Maybe I passed it. Oh, I hope I haven't deleted it. Let me. A lot of stuff in here. Gosh, good stuff. Well, no, I'm just gonna go back to the beginning. How do you go to the beginning? Is there not a number thing like a scrolling or something at the side? There is not. Oh, maybe there is not. There should be a number. I don't know, but yeah, don't forget to tell a friend to jump by, and if they wish to jump in at some point, and we will end. We'll go as long as you guys need. If you want to jump in, if you want to say anything, where you want. I'm just going to cover this bad intentions model, and then I'm going to go to bed, or not. See what happens. Where is it? I know this is bad. You know what? I might have to delete it. How bad would that be? Is that? I hope not. Maybe I went past it. It's right here. Good. Right. So what is the bad intentions model? So bad intentions model is non-black people and self-sabotaging black people being aware of black people deciding to practice black betterment can trigger a social systematic phenomenon known as bad benefit, annihilate, delay intentions. The intentions will go through 3 stages. So the first one is B, benefit, right? Other groups will want to benefit or be the beneficiaries of ideas, actions, and institutions dedicated to black people. So if you have a black idea, a black concept, something that is for black betterment purposes, they will try to be the beneficiary of benefit, B. If that doesn't work, they will go straight to then A. If they can't have it, they will annihilate. Other groups will want to shut down any ideas, actions, and institutions dedicated to black betterment. Now, just say that can't work for for legal reasons or just ethical reasons. Then they'll go to number 3, delay. Other groups will want to delay any ideas, actions, and institutions dedicated to black betterment. So these are the bad intentions, the bad intentions model. Whenever you want to do any activity that's for black people to collectively benefit, black betterment, that's what it is, you will get the bad intentions, and it pretty much goes through that. Then first, can we benefit? Nope. Then can we destroy it? If we can't destroy it, let's delay as much as possible. So hopefully you guys feel free to use this this model of bad intentions. You're using your talking points. It's very accurate, and it will make you sound like you know what you're talking about, because you do. Once you understand, every time black people get together, unsynchronized black people and self-sabotaging non-black people come together to try to destroy it. Oh yeah. Now, fam, there's any questions in the group? Let me go and do a quick big ups. Big up the Garveyite Republic. Big up She Reigns, Luffy, Black Bearman, Dominic, Golden, Black 189. Big up those in the background. Big up Rasta. Big up anyone else? No. I think that's it. I'm just gonna change the yeah. Big up anyone who listens to Future Time. This is Black Bearman. This show is set up for the black people to find solutions. You're always welcome to come on if you want to have your own show. Let us know. Give your own kind of segment. But I've written down things to do is to focus on, first, try to do more around this black economics and reach out to the system maybe at some point, or just try to get men to discuss it more in certain kind of forums. And also to the whole economic balance thing, that I've written that down. And don't forget about the bad intentions model, which you got on the wall. This will help you when you want to do these things, have better rebuttals to the self-sabotagers who want to undermine progress. That's right. I have done a lot. I'm very tired. Unless there's no one else, I shall go. Let me know. No, so I'm going to go. But you guys have been fantastic. Don't forget, this is your show. It's run on your time. Whenever you want, we will do what you need. As long as it's constructive, just let us know, and we will make it so. So for those who, for brothers and sisters who go out there and try to practice black betterment, help black people, know that you're important. And for those who don't, know that you're loved, and the important people will work on your behalf. All right. End it there. I'm good. I'm gone. Have a good day, Black Betterment, to all, and to all Black Betterment. See you next week.